Hello, hello, my friends. I am back with another dedicated candle review for you this week. Today, we are going to be talking about Homeworx St. Bart. Now, this candle is in their standard 4-wick, 18-ounce format. We've got this beautiful wraparound label, and we've got kind of this little fun postcard, what would we call this? Like label in front of this beautiful picture, which, by the way, put me on those white sandy beaches any day. Ooh, I am a beach girl at heart, for sure. But this collection has been around, I want to say, for maybe about 3 months now. And this candle in particular sat on my wish list initially because when it was first released, it was only available on QVC in a duo. It did eventually make its way over to the Slatkin & Co. website, but by then I had actually already purchased the candle through QVC because I will tell you why I was interested in it for 2 reasons. The first one, I will fully admit, is because in my mind, I associate the word St. Bart's with my beloved Way St. Bart's body cream. If you have not smelled that body cream, get yourself into Ulta or Sephora. There's even Sephora inside Kohl's. Go smell that fragrance. Oh my word, that body cream combined with the Kayali, I think it's called the Utopia Cocoa Vanille 21, totally gives me like wealthy woman on her yacht vibes. Oh my goodness, I love it. It's one of my favorite fragrance combinations to wear on my body in the summertime. However, I will tell you that when I saw the fragrance notes for this candle, I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, I don't think it's going to be the same as the St. Bart's cream, but I was still intrigued, and ultimately I did decide to purchase the duo from QVC because I thought, well, if the fragrance really isn't to my liking, I can always return it. You can see I did not return the fragrance. So let's go ahead and talk about this candle a little bit more. The pour date of this specific candle is November 15th, 2023. I do always like to give pour dates if I can because I think that that helps just give a more well-rounded review. That way, if somebody looks at this review, a year from now or whatnot, and maybe the candle that is coming, if they bring this fragrance back, if the candle that they've received has a different pour date and maybe they get different performance, then they can't come back and say, well, how come yours performed, better or worse than mine? I just always give pour dates for reference. The fragrance notes on this candle are bergamot, sea salt, island vanilla, sun bleached sandalwood. So basically, looking at those fragrance notes, I was anticipating that this would probably be kind of a calm, beachy type of fragrance. I do tend to like bergamot, which it has kind of like a citrus fragrance to it. It's not citrus like lime or lemon or orange, but there is something about it that is slightly citrusy. Sea salt, usually that's kind of like a fresh air type of vibe. Island vanilla, so vanilla lends a little bit of like I would say like just like a gourmand type of base, but there's nothing about this candle that is gourmand at all. And then you get the sun bleached sandalwood in here, and I will say that the sandalwood accord is noticeable in this fragrance. What does this smell like to me? This, to me, if you have caught my other 2 reviews for candles that I've had in this collection, I also had Santorini and Palm Beach from this collection. And what I said at the time that I did those reviews is that this entire collection, at least the 3 candles that I have had from it, all are very much a more elevated, what I would say classy take on traditionally summer fragrances. So to me, when I smell this fragrance, it reminds me of what I would smell in a very upscale resort on one of these like Caribbean islands like St. Bart's, where you're surrounded by white sandy beaches, but very upscale. This is not like your Holiday Inn or the Comfort Suites if you're staying on any of those islands. This very much gives me resort vibes. Like I said, I get that sandalwood base. I feel like when I saw this candle listed on the Slatkin & Co. website, we will talk about that here in just a moment. When I did see it on there, I felt like there might have been like a white patchouli note listed, but I cannot recall if that is correct. But the sandalwood note in here does come off a little bit patchouli-ish. Not dirty hippie patchouli, but kind of that like perfumey type of fragrance. but I do get the bergamot for sure. Island vanilla lends just a little bit of sweetness without you definitely thinking like, oh, this is a gourmand candle. Not anything like that. And then you do get kind of that freshness of like ocean air with this. It's really a beautifully done candle. I've really enjoyed burning this in the evenings because it's kind of, again, gives me those relaxing resort type of vibes without it being your traditional quote unquote spa aromatherapy type of fragrances. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. So you can see that I've got all 4 wicks lit here. This candle has been lit for a little over an hour now, and you can see I am at about 2/3 of the way down on the burn for this vessel. Wicks are doing pretty well for me. I have said this numerous times with the Homeworx candles. I personally do not trim my Homeworx wicks at all. Harry has said that the wicks are self-trimming, and while you do see some wick residue in the wax pool, for me, I have not noticed an alteration in the fragrance. I know some people sometimes get a little bit leery about that, especially for good reason. There are some brands where once the wax starts to get a little bit sooty and dirty, you do tend to notice that the scent changes. But I will tell you that so far, that has not been my experience with this candle. The flames are doing pretty well. Now, if you are just joining me for a Homeworx candle review, I do have a lot of new subscribers in the last couple of days. So hi, and thank you for subscribing to my channel if you're watching this review. But a couple of things that you may want to know about me when it comes to how I burn candles. With a lot of these Homeworx candles, they are a little bit thinner wicks. And especially on the first burn, I typically will allocate I would say 4 to 5 hours on that first burn just to make sure that I achieve a full wax pool. Successive burns after that, I usually don't have to give them as long of a time to completely pool out, but I do find that the first burn usually takes a little bit more time to develop a full wax pool. Sometimes I burn my candles in hurricanes. However, I will give you guys an update on the my early June candle chat video that I'm going to be doing this weekend. I think I'm going to come to the conclusion that here in the summertime, I don't think I'm going to be using hurricanes for my candles, just because I have some concerns about maybe they might be making my candles too hot. But again, that has something to do more so with the climate that I live in and the ambient temperature inside of my house. But again, I'll touch on that more this weekend in my early June candle chat for all of you guys. So burn has been pretty good for me. I haven't had any issues with the wicks falling over. They've all been staying upright and they're not detaching. They do have a tendency to want to lean just a little bit, so you might want to keep an eye on that. I personally extinguish my wicks with a wick dipper, so I'm able to stand them back up when I am done burning. Strength and throw on this candle, I would give this one, honestly, I think it's between like a 7, like I would probably settle on like a 7 to 8. If you put it into a hurricane, you get a little bit more, maybe like an 8. But I would say like a 7.5, honestly, is where I'm going to stick with it. I do notice that it tends to intensify a lot more the longer that I have it burning. So the first hour, it might take you a little while to really smell it, but usually after about an hour and a half, it's definitely filling up my living room. I can smell it a little bit going into the kitchen. It's not a super, super strong smack you in the face type of fragrance, which actually might be a good thing, especially because I said that I sense that there might be some type of a patchouli note, making up that sandalwood accord. So I personally don't want to be smacked in the face with something that heavy. But it is definitely a noticeable fragrance. You are not going to be walking in your home and like having to sniff it and be like, where is it? I don't smell it. You will definitely smell it. And it fills my open concept living room pretty well, even without a hurricane. One of the things that I am finding with a lot of these Homeworx candles is that I really don't find that I experience the full potential for their projection or their strength until probably about 3 burns in. So if your first 2 burns are a little bit disappointing, wait until your 3rd or 4th burn, and sometimes they really seem to come alive at that point. So overall, I would say this candle does get 2 thumbs up from me. It is an enjoyable candle. It's very luxe. It's elevated. Harry, if you're ever watching this video, or if anybody from the Homeworx team is ever watching it, I don't know what you would call it, but here's an idea for you. Can you please make a fragrance in the way St. Bart's cream? Because I would buy all of that up. I love that fragrance, but this one is definitely still good. And we do know that Harry said that a lot of the fragrances in this collection in particular were inspired by his travels. So he's been to St. Bart's. I have not. So maybe this is what his mind thinks of. And I wouldn't argue with him, because it is very much a nice tropical luxe resort destination. That's what comes to mind when I burn this candle. I did want to let you guys know that unfortunately, this candle is no longer on the Slatkin & Co. website. It was marked down to $18.99 during their Memorial Day sale. However, I was doing my research before filming this video, and it looks like it's no longer available on the Slatkin & Co. website. It's also not available over on QVC anymore. There are some reed diffusers available there. However, the reason why I wanted to put this review up is A, it should be in my fragrance catalog for if it ever makes a return, but B, we are starting to see Homeworx candles start showing up again in the discount retailers. And I figured that now that they've pulled all of those candles that were on sale for $18.99 over the Memorial Day sale, holiday extravaganza, I have a sneaking suspicion that some of those candles may be making their way into the discount retailers. So if you come across this one in your local store, you may want to know, should I purchase this one or should I pass? And I would say, if you like the fragrance on cold sniff, definitely go ahead and purchase it, because I am having a good experience with it. Let me know in the comment box down below what your thoughts have been with this candle. Is it one that you are enjoying? Like I said, I've tried 3 in this collection, and I would rank them. My favorite one from the collection was Santorini, followed by Palm Beach, and then this one would probably come in number 3. But it's not a bad fragrance. It's just that my personal preferences, when I'm thinking about which ones I really enjoyed the most, that would be the order that I would put them in. Please hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful. It really helps me out with the old YouTube algorithm. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I love to talk all things candles here on my channel. I do hauls, empties, dedicated reviews like this one, and a lot of other fun content in between. So if you love candle content, please hit that subscribe button before you get on out of here. Please also feel free to comment down below what your experience has been with this candle. I have always said this, and I am a huge proponent of this, that we make the best purchasing decisions, not only by listening to reviews on various social media outlets, but also if you go down and read the comment section, a lot of your fellow members of the candle community also offer a lot of great insight about what their experiences have been. And that is why I will always encourage you, as long as you are respectful of myself and others, to give us your feedback about what candles you are burning. So I do want to say thank you very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.